Javondre, Paige High School. Don, we're still moving straight ahead on Football in Focus from the Kickback Jackson Battleground. Javondre's back with us again. Javondre, what do you have to say about the upcoming game, big game at Davie County tomorrow night? I know you're excited because you're the man. You're the team leader.
I think tomorrow's game will be pretty good as long as we limit our mistakes, both offensively, defensively, and special teams, because that's what held us back in the game last year. So I think if we come out firing on all cylinders, I think we'll be pretty good this year.
Before we go any further, where's Keandre at now?
He's at UNC Pembroke right now, but he plans to transfer to UNC Charlotte to play football there, try to walk on.
He's still playing football then?
No, sir, not right now.
He's going to try to go to Charlotte, play some?
Yes, sir.
Is he training, working out?
Yeah, he's training just about every week, in and out, just kind of training with me alongside, just to stay in shape, just in case the opportunity appears.
And he was a backup quarterback at Paige years ago, wasn't he, at one time?
He was running back.
Did he play a little backup quarterback too occasionally? Did he ever?
I don't think so.
I wonder if he did. I remember him back in the day because Keandre and Javondre, I always remember those names, and the two brothers. Plus, I mentioned earlier we had Chris Zellis in, plus his brother John, also a football player at one time. You know those guys well too. How well do you know Davie County? What are you thinking about those guys?
I know they graduated a lot last year, but I think they're coming back pretty strong this year. I know that they have a great quarterback, Nate, who's pretty good, and I've heard they have weapons on both offense and defense. So I think that, we'll match up pretty well, but at the end, I think we'll pull it out.
Tell me about these three words. Write these three words down. 3 key words for your game, any quarterback's game. Time to throw. What does that mean to you?
Just being able to observe the field, just like sitting back there, observing what the defense gives you and trying to just throwing off what they give you and take what you take. I think that's time to throw.
I was watching some film. I told Chris Ellis watched some of his film for a couple years back on the Friday night rivalries. I watched your film against Ragsdale, at Ragsdale, 2017 I think it was.
Yes, sir.
I think you guys were playing for the championship that night.
Yeah.
Because Ragsdale was good. You guys took them out pretty well. But that night, I'm just watching you play, and I got it in my head, I won't forget it. You have all night long to see that field. You could pick out where you want to throw that ball. I thought it was all about having time to throw, and you had that time.
Yeah, our offensive line that year was really good with Nick Makovic, who's now at Carolina, leading the way, and just everybody across the board just knew what they were doing. So that year was a great year, and I had a lot of time to throw.
And number 2 and number 11 were your primary receivers over that game. Do you remember who those guys were?
Nick Baker and Naseem Austin.
Yeah, Nick Baker was number 2, right?
Yes, sir.
He was a backup quarterback one time, wasn't he?
Yes, he was behind Will Jones.
And number 11 again was Austin?
Naseem, yes.
Boy, you were ripping those guys apart that night because you could roll to the left, roll to the right, and the thing about it was you learned that season as a sophomore, even during that game, maybe some of that game, you learned about those guys were covered. You saw the field, then you ran for some touchdowns yourself.
Yeah. Always trying to keep the players alive as much as possible, being able to either throw and just run with my feet at all times.
What about the line right now, this year's offensive line?
We're pretty young this year, but I feel like we graduated 4 of the 5 linemen. So I feel like the ones coming up will have to step up big. And I feel like if we just do what we do, then we'll be fine. Our offensive line coach works really hard every day to get them better.
Who is he? So give him a shout out.
Coach Sheffield and Coach McCormick. Both of those guys work the offensive
So working
line.
that offensive line hard, but you got to replace 4 of the 5 linemen.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
That's pretty tough, dude. There'll be some times I'm sure you get a little frustrated out there.
Yeah, I'll try to keep my cool as much as possible. Knowing me, I'm a leader and everyone looks up to me. So if I'm down, that brings everybody else down. So I try to keep the juice as much as possible. Try not to let them see me down at any time. But that's a big
How
part.
have you come along from back to your sophomore year to now as far as advancement? How do you feel like? You can kind of tell us.
I feel a lot more mature, kind of managing the game well. So I feel like me being mature kind of just sets everything up and help my teammates out by just having them calm down, because I was in their shoes once.
I thought
with
the same thing when you talk about those.
up.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So I know what it feels like, so I don't want them to feel like that pressure, because you just have to have confidence in this game. I think if you have the confidence, then you'll be fine.
Do you like being in that leadership role?
Yes, I love it, because all the guys look up to me. Just encouraging each and every one just helps me make me
Feels good to have those guys depend on you probably too.
Yes,
and you
sir,
don't want to let them down.
No, not at all. Not let letting anyone down, not even our coaches who put so much effort in the offseason to help us get better.
Who's your quarterback coach? Do you have it, or just an offensive coach? Who's in charge there?
Actually, our quarterback coach is Coach Rolfes, the head
He's
coach.
the man. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's the head coach. Yeah.
So you learn a lot from him at quarterback. He'll
Yeah,
teach
I'm
you quite a
with
bit.
him mostly, like all summer, all offseason with him a lot.
Throw another wild ball out. Who's your backup? Because you got a guy named Barnett, don't you?
Yeah, Alonzo Barnett. Yeah,
how's he coming along?
He's really good, learning the game pretty well. You know, he pushed me all offseason to get better, and I just helped him like a little brother. Kind of brought him in, kind of embraced him a lot because soon when I leave, he'll be the guy.
And you don't want to leave that cupboard bare when you leave. You want the team to still do good when you leave.
Yeah, a lot do good. I feel like once I leave, he'll be in pretty good hands. He knows what he's doing. He's in the film with me and Coach Rolfes learning.
Like you said, having a guy push you is going to make you a better quarterback anyway.
Yes, sir. It always, every day we're competing to get better, both of us.
Tell me this, how much better were you guys when you scrimmaged against Eastern Alabama than when you scrimmaged later on last Friday night? Who did you scrimmage last Friday?
Glenn.
How much better were we from Eastern Alabama to Glenn? How much improvement did you see, or did you see some improvement?
I saw a lot of improvement from each area, just limiting our mistakes with like receivers, knowing what they have to do in each play, linemen, whether they're down block or just chip, and just offensively knowing what we do. Since we run hurry up offense, we try to push the pace as much as possible, and we condition for that. So just being able to keep our pace and knowing what we're doing at each position just really helped.
This may be a hard question. I'm always inside information. Do you know who the quarterback was for Glenn? Was it Devin Flowers? Was he on there?
No, Devin Flowers played linebacker and receiver at Glenn.
Really?
Yeah, he's not playing quarterback anymore.
Wow, I mean, it's like it's Christmas, and you just told me what I was going to get for school my holiday.
Yeah.
Because you see these kids who are in middle school, and you position them in your mind. Someday he'll be the senior quarterback, lead the nation in throwing, but now he's a linebacker and a receiver.
Yeah, he was a good quarterback coming up. Even his freshman year at Southwest.
Yeah, you're right.
He was really good.
He was fun to watch in middle school because he was kind of big. He was bigger than a lot of kids. But I guess sometimes you get bigger, you become like a linebacker.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. A receiver. It also shows you, too, if you go to a new school sometimes, maybe you're planning leaving your one school to go to another, you may want to go there to be their top quarterback, and then maybe somebody in front of you may not work out, so you better be ready to adjust and take another position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, it's a game of change, game of adjustments. Here's one. If you could not wear your current number, which is number 12, what number would you wear?
That's hard. Probably number 7.
Interesting.
Number 7.
Yeah, because I've got number 1, that was Chris. He wears number 1. You wear number 12. And Jordan Williams was here later. He wears number 7. And number 12, I got guys back in the day like Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Namath, and maybe also Dan Marino wearing the number 12. But number 7, Joe Theismann, remember him back in the day?
Yeah, I remember
He
him.
wore the number 7, so you might wear 7. In a real tight situation, would you rather be running the ball or throwing the ball?
Probably running, because I can trust my legs a lot more. Not saying that I don't trust my arm, but knowing that I can get those muddy yards after contact, I feel like that's a big part that I'd pick, probably running.
I saw somebody about the one time about football and the nature itself. When you throw the ball, there's a 50% chance he'll catch it, 50% he may drop it. When you run it, there's a 100% chance you'll get at least a yard or 2.
Yeah, it is.
That's always that possibility. The first pass you ever completed, do you remember who you threw it to back when you were a kid? First pass in the real low-level football when you were young come out? First pass you completed?
I probably think Trent McIntyre when I was at Lewis.
Trent McIntyre, the basketball guy.
Yeah, he's at Piedmont now.
Yeah, well, Trent was a heck of a basketball player. He was in his own world, too. He ran his own show. He was the guy you completed it to.
Yeah, back in my Lewis days in junior Pee-wees. Yeah,
was it for a touchdown, you think?
Oh, yes, it was for a touchdown.
Wow.
TD
Trent McIntyre. That's good memory. Very good memory. Wow. Those are probably good memories, too, I think.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Trent got a year left. Does he got 1 year left?
Yes, he's a rising senior.
Yeah.
He was 2019, but now he's reclassed.
He could do well if he keeps working on his game. But boy, he really was a good player for Paige back in this day.
Yes, sir.
Here, give me more about Paige. How about Jaden Ellis? Is Jaden playing this year?
No, he's not playing. He stopped after last
year. I saw him in a roster. I saw an old roster. I saw Jaden's name. I thought, gosh, he's playing this year. I thought he was going to play, maybe.
No, he played basketball.
Good basketball player.
Yeah.
His brother was a good receiver, too.
He's at, I think, Gardner Webb.
One of the top receivers, I think, doing well. Since you started playing football as a real young kid, any current players on your team now still with you that you grew up with and came all the way through together?
Guys
around
like
you?
About 10 of them
Wow.
that all played at Lewis. We're all on the same team now. I remember Isaiah Oglesby played with me. Charlie Stevens played with me. Isaiah Fisher-Smith played with me at Lewis. That's a couple
Were you
more.
quarterbacking back then?
No, actually, I didn't start taking quarterback seriously until about 6th grade. So I was a running back back then.
Just ran the ball.
Yeah.
Try to get outside and run everybody to the end zone, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you run around them or run over them back then?
I was kind of more of an inside zone type of guy. Yeah.
I tell you what, if you watch a film, I don't talk watching film. I watch a film all summer. Watch a pro football film, some high school film. Watch the other night. This guy, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day, a guy named Mike Allstott. He was a running back. If you watch his film, I guarantee tomorrow night you'll gain at least 10 extra yards. I'm going to tell every kid I see, if you watch that guy's film, I think you'll gain 10 extra yards. Because I watched a lot of running backs this year, and that guy, unreal. I just encourage guys to watch. He's got about a 14-minute film of his highlights back with Tampa Bay, and he was a fullback who was also a tailback. He probably weighed about 210, 215, but he ran fast, but he also had moves. Big dude could run over you, but he still could zigzag and make moves. Anybody watches this film, I almost guarantee you, if I ran today in a game tonight, I'd gain at least 5 yards in the game. I'd gain at least 5 yards without going down. We said your favorite play to run, probably take the winners to the pass. First priority probably there. Who's your most trusted receiver right now?
Most trusted? I would have to go with C.J. Crump.
Yeah, he's number 25, right?
Yes, but he switched to number 2 this year.
Did he?
He's now number 2.
Was he wearing 25 at East Alabama's scrimmage?
I think so, yes.
I think he was, because you were throwing some pass, and I saw the film on that. He was throwing a good pass to him, yeah.
Yes, sir.
He was a defensive back at one time, wasn't he?
He's starting cornerback right now. That's where he's going to college for.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot of guys going both ways. But
He's going both ways.
So he's at receiver, and, his speed is just unmatched with, the defense running the 4-3. So, if you just send him
That's faster than Devin Boykin. I think Devin Boykin's a 4.45, which is fast.
Yeah, he's just
Where's he going, Duke?
He's going to ECU.
ECU. Because the other player's going to Duke.
Isaiah, yes. He's going to Duke.
So Crump is locked in for ECU then. Wow.
Yes, sir.
So he's going to be out there for an offense and on defense.
Yes, sir. Both ways this year.
Because I saw him in that East Alabama scrimmage, and he caught at least 2 touchdown passes from him in that scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
Looking sharp there.
Yes, sir.
C.J. Crump. Keep an eye on him. Toughest game you've ever played in? You remember one game that just stood out above the others, maybe being the toughest game you played in, and maybe a tough player you remember from that game? There's always going to be one game that stands out, just a tough game.
I would have to say the Mallard Creek game my sophomore year. That was a tough 9-5, tough game. Came down to the wire.
Wow.
Got a touchdown call back for a chop block on left tackle, which cost us the game. That was a tough game. And I definitely remember their defensive tackle, who was 6'6", 350, who's now at Georgia. Jordan Davis, he was.
Did he get you a few times?
Yeah, he got me a few times.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie on that one.
When those big linemen tackle you, when they just flat out pancake you down, is it sometimes just hard to get up?
Yeah, especially after that one, it was on turf too, and it was cold, so it just
turf was hard.
Yeah,
probably.
Me and him on the ground, it wasn't good at all.
Not a good matchup.
No, sir.
Do you remember who your first grade teacher was? Go back to first grade years ago.
First grade teacher. I think Miss George. I think that was her name.
What school would that have been?
Brightwood Elementary School.
That's out on Summit Avenue, headed out that way?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Then I went to Jesse Wharton my 5th grade year.
And then got to middle school at
Mendenhall.
Mustangs. You ran that team back in those days too.
Yes, sir.
Mendenhall's always had good quarterbacks.
They brought some good ones in coming up this freshman year. It was pretty good. Who's actually playing right now. They're pretty good. I work with them all off-season and summer just to help them come up to soon be a great quarterback.
What about your old buddy, or maybe he's not your old buddy, but you probably know him. What about Joseph Weathersby back at
yeah,
Joseph?
He's at Paige right now. He's actually starting kicker.
That's what I heard, yeah.
He's doing pretty good.
His senior year ready to go then.
Yes, sir. Doing as much as he can to help the team.
I remember those days back at Mendenhall. He could boot the ball pretty far as an 8th grader.
I don't think he ever played football before then.
Just got started.
Yeah, started 8th grade, started just kicking for us, and then he just worked hard all offseason with Dan Warner, with his camps, and just kind of just started kicking.
And will he punt and kick extra points, kick off? Do your kickers, or you guys split it up over there? Do you know?
I think we're splitting it up between the other two kickers we have. So I think Joseph's doing kickoffs and probably PATs.
I heard you had Elliott Kid, a freshman.
Yeah,
so
freshman. He's
too.
really good. He's really good. He can definitely kick the ball.
Get in the end zone?
Yeah, definitely. A couple times I've seen him do it in practice. He's really good.
Here's a question, may not ask enough. Are you the holder on all those kicks?
No.
You don't do any holding.
I'm kind of scared to hold the ball.
I don't blame you because they kick your hand.
Yeah. I don't like
Who does the holding? Do you have a punter or somebody else, a hands person?
Jerome Roy usually holds the ball for us.
What positions do you play otherwise?
He's starting safety and receiver, so he's going both ways.
He's got the hands and going on.
Yes, sir.
Who's your current principal at Paige? You know him?
Mr. Negley.
He's a football man. He was a punter at Greensboro College. He's like on their conference all 50 all-time team.
Really?
I looked him up on the internet one time. So this guy was like a kicker in college at Greensboro College. He's not had great teams over the years.
Yeah.
He was a standout there as a punter and made his USA Conference all-time top 50 player team, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
He gives you guys good support, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. All the time. Every time I see him, it's always words of encouragement, being a leader, because you never know who's looking up to you at some point. So no matter what, if you be a leader at all times, he just tells me to just keep being a leader, just lighting other people.
Yeah, you never know who's watching either, so
Yes,
you want to be a
sir.
leader all the time.
Yes,
You were good at that last year, good at that this year too, I think. You've been good at that for a while now. What are two things you've learned from Coach Wallace? You can say one. It's not just I can't think of one, but a couple of things maybe you learned from Coach Wallace over the years that have really stuck with you.
Just being patient with defenses, or just being patient with what they give you, and just always being mature and having confidence, because you don't want to hang your head, because he always has this thing where it's easy to be up 14-0 compared to when you're down 14-0. So that's kind of the mindset I have, because you always got to keep the same mindset no matter if you're up or if you're down, just to build each other up throughout the game or throughout the season.
You got to play the first 3 minutes of the game just like you played the last 3 minutes of the
Yes,
game.
sir,
man.
always.
That's got to be tough.
Down in Davie, it's going to be hot and humid tomorrow, so you just try to hydrate as much and just make sure we're ready to go.
And keep that ball as dry as you can.
Yes, sir.
It'll get a little sweaty sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Are you doing any snaps under center at all, or everything back behind the center?
Everything right now is done. We don't really go under center like that unless we're doing, obviously, quarterback sneak.
Or goal line situation?
Goal line, yes, sir.
Do you mind taking that ball yourself at the goal line?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. That's not a thought at
How
all.
much do you weigh now?
I'm at 210 right now.
My gosh. Back in 20 years ago, if you had a quarterback 210 pounds, they would kick him off the team. Weight.
Yes,
So you're
sir.
carrying 210 and carrying it well. How
Yes,
tall
sir.
are you these days?
I think 5'11", maybe 6 foot, kind of.
So you're kind of carrying like a Russell Wilson frame
Yes, sir.
almost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is there any pro quarterback that you look up to and kind of follow and say, hey, man, maybe that's my game? Who knows?
Kind of Russell Wilson, since we're the same
I tell you
body
about who I
part.
likened you to the other day. I think it was the guy I patterned you after the other day. I think I put on my website. This guy in the old school days, Warren Moon.
Yes, sir.
Because he had kind of a torpedo throw like you do too.
Yes, sir.
Warren Moon, man, that guy was a heck of a quarterback.
Yes, sir. Growing up, I watched a lot of him and Randall Cunningham.
Oh, yeah.
And even some Michael Vick. That's why I said number 7. So I kind of modeled my game after them.
Boy, Vic could run and Cunningham could run too.
Yes, sir. Both. All of them. I like it.
And Warren Moon played for the old Double E team, Edmonton Eskimos.
Yes, sir.
And then he stayed for like 7 years because he wanted to play quarterback. The NFL said, we'll draft you as a wide receiver and a defensive back. He said, no, I want to play quarterback. Came back and he threw the ball to a guy from your old school tons of times. Got him Haywood Jeffries.
Yeah.
From 84.
I talked to him last year before our playoff game.
Todd Haywood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He kind of talked to us, gave us a pregame
Was he there in
speech.
person or communicating with you guys over the
It
internet?
was over the internet,
I thought
like
it
a
was,
Twitter
yeah.
video. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. That's a good guy to be hanging out with, that's for
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes.
Man.
Always great to talk to him.
You're a student of the game. I mean, you've done a good job at this game. All you got to do is keep doing the same thing, do more, right?
Yes, sir. Trying to improve each and every day, each and every week, game in and game out.
How do you think you've improved since last year already going into the first game?
I would say working, being more of a pocket passer. Because this summer, I kind of went to football camps, like down in Louisiana, to kind of work on staying in the pocket, being a more of a pocket passer, not just look first and just automatic run. So I'm like working on my pocket presence and just working around in the pocket.
Who ran those Louisiana camps?
I was at the Manning Passing Academy.
I was going to say, it probably had to be the
Eli,
Mannings, yeah. They were both there?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Both hands-on learning each and every day. Just It was down in June, so it was like all their knowledge just brought in so that
Peyton Manning and Eli Manning,
Yes,
right there
sir.
with those guys.
Yes, sir.
Coach Cook wasn't there, was he? Duke coach?
I know I didn't see him.
Yeah. Any college you're looking at these days?
Not. I'm kind of looking at UNC Charlotte.
Yeah.
Kind of that way.
A new coach there too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or kind of Yale.
Yale would be good.
Yeah.
The Yale, I think it's the Yale Bulldogs team nickname. Man, that would be some good football. You have a jersey with that, like a blue jersey with like a white Y on there, I think. Yeah. If you go to Yale, I think we need to have a celebration. That'd be a huge step.
Yeah, that would be a big step. Yes, sir.
The academics are all good to go there?
Yes, sir. They are.
Wow. If you got the academics get into Yale, I barely got into the Yale manufacturers when they made the Yale locks. Unreal. Javondre, can talk to you all day long. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And here's your card. If you didn't get your meal yet, remember, if you want to stay and get the meal, it's up to you.
All right.
It's up to you.
Thank you.
Thank you much. Excellent job.
Thank you.